Everybody, it's Hey John here. Okay, I'll be covering cryptocurrency, Dogecoin specifically, and I create videos about Dogecoin news and Dogecoin technical analysis. But in this video today, I'll be covering the Dogecoin technical analysis, aka the sticks. All right, it's March 27th, 2021. But before we get to the video, do Dogecoin a huge favor by subscribing and liking so we can share this video with more people who have not been exposed to Dogecoin to further grow the Dogecoin community. All right. So you came for the sticks. Let's get to the sticks. All right. So I see a huge breakout pattern forming. Okay, huge breakout pattern forming. What I mean by that is that we can see on the daily here, on the MACD, it's starting to trend up like that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, we're seeing a trend up currently. However, we needed to confirm though. All right, and currently on a 12 moving average, we can see it literally starting to go flat and starting to curl flat, but curling up slowly. So this is literally the formation of a new pattern here. If this happens, we're going to see a huge breakout, and by huge breakout, we're going to see we're going to test 6-3 again. I would say almost for sure. It's only a matter of when, if this pattern actually continues this way. So basically, what I'm seeing here is something like this right here for the most part. So on the charts though, this is what it looks like on the charts though. Okay, so if this actually happens, and I'm actually inclined to believe that it will happen because yesterday on March 26, 2021, the 15-minute MACD. What I mean is a 15-minute chart in general was this non-stop bullish, just non-stop bullish. So this is a kind of a trigger of a new trend here, and we just need for it to confirm. And I did mention the other day over here a long-legged doji, usually at the end of a trend, either uptrend or downtrend, confirmed either which way. When you see a long-legged doji, that's usually a sign of a reversal. And the 15-minute chart for the previous day was literally just non-stop buying. And that's kind of confirmation of the reversal. So we just need to see it play out a little further out for us to actually confirm it though. So far we're seeing it move to the right direction here, okay? So on a daily chart, what that could mean is we can see something like this as well. If that happens, we're going to go past 6-3, right? But again, as always, we need to watch for it. Obviously, there'll be pullbacks and everything, but if this continues like this for the next few days, we actually may test 6-3 sooner rather than later there. But however, we're going to need to also our first resistance is going to be 582, and then our next resistance is going to be 623. However, the 50 MA on a daily is currently 5716, so that's also another resistance. So again, the resistance I see is going to be 5716, 585, and 63. These are going to be the major resistance for the next few days coming. And if we break through all three, well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we're going to go to the moon. And I really do hope so, honestly. But however, as always, these charts are always evolving, and that's kind of why I keep on mentioning to you folks that you need to watch this daily if you're investing or trading this this particular asset here. Well, this cryptocurrency asset. All right. So with that being said, I actually have really good news today, and that was it. So we can see as well that currently the 50 MA is still over the 200 MA, right? And you see the 200 MA still on the upward trend there. So this to me is still setting the trend for the most part. Long term, very bullish. Short term, we had a pullback, and now we're looking bullish again because we saw the long-legged doji at the end of a long downward trend. Well, by long I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 days. Okay, so we haven't seen the volume to confirm yet. On the day of the long-legged doji, we saw the volume confirmation. I would call it, because it was about 105 million volume, but for the past few days it's been like 80, 63. Friday was 48. So we're seeing low volumes throughout the whole trading session for the most part. So on a day we saw 105 million. I'm gonna say 105 million. So it's easier to say 105 million volume on the long-legged doji. That was kind of the signal to kind of bounce back, and that's kind of why I was buying the dips for the past 3 or 4 days. Actually bought the most actually on on March 24 as well, because I saw it forming, but it didn't fully confirm until the following day, because with these sticks here, it takes a whole day to confirm for the most part here. So you don't want to call it until it actually happens. But I did mention to everyone to buy the dips for the past few days, because that's what I was doing, because I saw it as a huge opportunity. However, I did mention that from the past few days ago, we were seeing a downtrend like this for the most part, right? But however, the downtrend was on the bullish quadrant, what I call the bullish quadrant. So even though it was bearish, at the same token, it wasn't bearish either, because it was still in the bullish quadrant. It's only bearish when it becomes bearish, right? Fully bearish, as in it confirms, okay, as in it goes into the bearish quadrant. So and I also did mention also for the past few days as well that this looked to me more of a fake out of a shakeout than an actual true pullback. Well, I'm sorry, a true bearish formation forming, because of the low volume trades right there, and we kind of saw it happen. So so this is kind of what I'm seeing right now, and if this happens, and I'm inclined to believe that it will happen, because I know that the Dogecoin developers, they're working very furiously to implement the Rosetta API to be listed on Coinbase. However, I suspect we'll probably see it sometime in April before they finish, right? Because it's a huge project, and everyone works voluntarily. So, with that being said, it's not a knock on the Dogecoin developers, but it's just keeping it realistic here, okay? So as always, if you're a developer, you have some free time. If you know how to do it, hey, by all means, please pitch in, help out, right? Because it's only gonna help out Dogecoin for the most part. And I did report on another news as well. FTX is going to be marketing themselves, right, with the Miami Heat for the most part, the Miami Heat Stadium right there. So if you want to get more of that insight, check out my other video, and it'll give you more explanation of why that's going to be huge for Dogecoin. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of these guys right here and go over to the 4-hour chart, so you can see what it really looks like. So this is kind of big news for a day, for technically speaking, and this is kind of like the fruition of all the news coming out. We're about to see big gains soon. That's what I truly believe. Obviously, it may or may not happen, but as always, I always say nibble, don't bite. All right, when you're buying these dips or any kind of investing here, I'm investing in the long haul, so I don't mind. So I don't mind personally averaging up or down here. Again, I don't give financial advice. I'm just sharing with all of you that what I'm doing here, just so you know. The reason why I say buy dips is because you want to insulate yourself from further depreciation, right? If you're buying a dipper here, you're insulating yourself that much more, and you always want to insulate yourself from dips and drops and everything, because it's cryptocurrency, and it's not a knock on cryptocurrency, but cryptocurrency is literally the wild wild west, and there's no SEC backing you or anything like that for the most part, so you can lose all your money real quick right here, right? And we've seen cryptocurrency drop 50% in a day, so it's very good to always have spare change, and I always say dry powder in this case, in order to invest again. So if you buy if you bite and buy really fast, when it dips, you are going to miss out on great opportunities. And as an investor for over, I would say maybe 12 years now, nothing goes straight up and nothing goes straight down. So if you're assuming that you're gonna buy big once and you're gonna go to the moon with it, hey, that could rightfully happen. But being an investor for so long, I realized that it doesn't happen. So let's just be realistic here, and that's kind of why I share what I'm doing. So hopefully you ladies and gentlemen will get some value out of it. All right. So let's go to the 4-hour chart and see how that's progressing. All right. Okay. So I did mention the other day, you can see the little squiggly lines here. That's kind of what I was assuming that would happen on a 15-minute chart yesterday, and we'll get to that and see how it played out. And it looked like it played out kind of fairly close. Obviously, nothing plays out exactly. And I always mention to everyone, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't claim to know what's going to happen. I just know for technical analysis, you gotta bring in the fundamentals, aka the news, and the sticks, with all the chart patterns here, and you gotta put all the data, all of that data together in order to see a trend and to see where it is likely to go. Okay, again, likely to go. And I always mention technical analysis is more of an art. It's more of an art than a science. Okay, so it may or may not happen, but I like to invest in likelihoods, okay, rather than just blindly just do it like that, right? At least this way I have some information with me. I have some analysis as well. So if it goes down, I'm okay with it because I understand what I was getting into. So and I only invest in what I believe in. So, and by investing, I mean I'm gonna hold this for many years to come. I'm not gonna sell in a month or two because that's what I call a trade. All right, so I'm over that little spiel. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart now. So on the MACD, you can see it's increasing here, right? However, it's a resetting on what I call the bearish quadrant for the most part, right? So it's looking a little sketch because of that reason there. And you can see also the sticks here, they're starting to taper off, right? Slowly. Like 5, 5. See, it went 4, 4, 5, 5. So it's kind of moving slowly but surely right there. I mean, obviously this can continue, and it's a weekend, so we're gonna see lower volume for the most part because guess what? Most people want to live their lives and they want to do what they want to do right here, right? And they don't want to be trading all day long. I would assume same thing for Europeans, right? So I wouldn't hold too much water with that. So weekends are usually what I would call opportunity dip buys. So I kind of watch it here and there, but sometimes, but even I sometimes miss it because I just don't pay attention to it because of the weekend as well. So you can see the 50 MA over a 200 MA on a 4-hour chart here, right? So but you see the 200 MA is trending down slowly, very slowly, very slow, very low trend, downward trend, velocity super slow. You see 50 MA kind of encroaching at fairly fast with that velocity. However, 50 MA is over 200 MA, so we have a golden cross right there. So it's still bullish until it's not. But you can see that the 50 MA is starting to become a resistance, right? You see at 554 and 553. Both times they hit it, it got dropped down. However, you can see it also on part of the 15-minute chart. You can see more closely that even though it drops down, it gets dropped real quick as well. However, since the 50 MA is kind of encroaching, I would say fairly quickly in terms of velocity towards the 200 MA, if it's a bearish cross, then we're going to be going bearish for the foreseeable future. And by foreseeable future, it could be for a few days, right? Our last cross was here. It's lasted about, let's see how long so far. It's lasted about 10, well, okay, I would say 13 days, almost 2 weeks. So if we hit a bearish cross, we can hit about 2 weeks of downside, where it's more bearish and bullish here. However, even though this is happening right now, we're seeing a short term starting to get bop a lot. So this 50 MA could change, and the trajectory could go from this to kind of going like that. Of course, it'll take time. It's a 4-hour chart, so we're gonna we're gonna have to wait for it to develop for the most part. But however, we are currently seeing some bullish action, and some bearish control in a sense where it's kind of coming down still. However, we just need to play this out and be a little patient right here because right now I would call this kind of no man's land right here because we are back in the trading range, right, of 525 and 583. We're kind of back in the range right here, right? And we're currently about 555 is the middle, 54 is kind of near the middle. So it's kind of like I call it no man's land because the risk reward is very low. Of course, people are gonna still buy and everything and sell, but around here it's kind of more sketchy in my opinions. And given the way the 50 MA trajectory is going, I'm more inclined to believe that it'll probably come back down. And I did mention yesterday around 5.4 or 5.5 would be the top before it kind of gets slapped back down. And we're kind of seeing that happen right now, actually. So with the 50 MA and 200 MA, we're kind of seeing that. But at the same token, you can see the 200 MA is now becoming a support for the first time, right? So the most recent stick here, you're seeing it become a support literally. But it's sandwiched between the 50 and 200. So you see it right there. It's kind of narrow. So what we could potentially see here is just kind of see a pennant right here. A pennant looks like this for the most part. We may just see this for the next few days, where it kind of stays in between the 50 and 400. I mean the 50 and 200. That could potentially happen, and then see where it breaks out to either up or down. So just something to watch right now. If a pennant happens, then I'm inclined to believe that we're more likely to break up rather than down, given the way the current MACD is looking, and all the bullish news, and also to note all the bullish news that's been coming out for the past few days. So let's move to the 15-minute chart and check that out. and see what it looks like on a short term. Okay, so yesterday I kind of drew out what I would imagine happen. Obviously, I was not exactly right because as I always say, this is more of an art than a science. Let me delete this right here. I don't like it. Okay, so and I did mention yesterday that the 50-minute chart has been resetting on a MACD range here on a bullish trend here. For the most part, it keeps on resetting mostly in a bullish range. So that means that we're going to keep on seeing higher highs and higher lows, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. However, it seems like we're kind of peaking out right here, right? It's moving slower and slower, which is fine. So this is kind of why I'm thinking now we may see a pennant action, right? Where we see something like this for the most part, kind of trading in a range, somewhere around here. We may just see this for a little bit, right? However, we won't know until we see it happen. Just given the way the floor is looking, I can see this happening. I don't really see the momentum right now and the volume to kind of push it higher. I mean, obviously it could happen, right? But just given the way things look, I'm always try to be realistic in my analysis right here. So I see us having more of a pennant action where it's kind of just boring back and forth. So it's very easy for day traders to kind of make money going back and forth either which way. You see it, you see at the top short it, in this range rate in this box, you short on top, buy on bottom. Usually pennants are usually really good day trading activities because it's very easy to make money. It's very predictable until it's not, until it breaks out or breaks down. So this pretty much this concludes the video for today. And do me a huge favor to help grow the Dogecoin community here. Subscribe and like. That's all you gotta do. Tap the subscribe, tap the like, okay, and you're gonna help me and grow the Dogecoin community. And this is Hey John. I will catch you all on the next video.